today. We're right into things. Gambit CT side to start. Kassad says they don't have much to show. Well, have they done their homework coming into today's match?
Look at Nafany with the dual Berettas. Let's see what he's going to get away with these. We've seen Keto deliver with the dual Berettas at Banana before. And Nafany following those footsteps. There's the peak flashed in for it. More ammo where that came from and more pain. More lead put down range by those dual Berettas. Man advantage taken early on. Gambit sat in a 4-on-5, or sorry, 5-on-4 rather, on this defending side. Team Spirit grouping up for a last-ditch attempt to hit the A-bomb site. Shiro not moving a muscle, and Axel with this crossfire between him down in the pit. It's a bit of a nasty hold here that Team Spirit is struggling to navigate. Chopper is trapped in the graveyard, and this might be his final resting place there as Shiro looks to bring the round to a close. It's another pistol found for Gambit. They've gotten all of them away in the series so far, at least, you know, found 4 spy victories. So looking to keep these conversions ticking over.
I'm just loving the tempo of Gambit. It is like watching like figure skating, man. They just dance around the boxes. They don't overpeak. They wait for their teammates to face with them. The comms are great. Everyone's feeling comfortable. And as I said, maybe they have like a bit of, a bit of breathing room. They can be a bit more chilled out on this map, considering they're up 1 in this series. They have this pocket pick here. So, you know, we saw dual Berettas. Maybe that's a sign of things to come for Gambit, but already a strong start in Spirit. They were relying on the force by walls back on Overpass. This time they're not in the same case. They don't have to force. They can play this Glock round, get it done and dusted, and come back in with guns. But this one will not be good for them by any means of the word. It's a quick, clean cleanup on long, and no casualties for Gambit. That will not be changing today. Chopper just trying to bleed what he can from the round, but it's a 2-0 lead, and the guns coming in for Spirit.
I know a lot of people from watching Gambit, you know, looking so red hot at getting like PGL Major Krakow vibes, right? And you know, Gambit scored in Poland, they've done it once before, right? They're looking to do it again. I want to say that if Gambit managed to take this event, I want a remake of Ladder Sedan, but with these players, you know, because that was great when they released that music video and then they went on to win the major. It's like, yeah, all right. Well, this time they can do it in like the inverse way round. Win Katowice, drop a music video.
What a timeline we're living in.
Mir up through the banana, gets here early on. Nice response, right? The little nade battle that takes place over here at Banana, spreading damage for either side.
I think that's going to be huge as well, right? Like, who's winning out this Banana battle? Who's winning the utility fight? Like, Gambit, they brought it to Astralis in some rounds up on the T side of this map.
Did you just see what Axel gets away with? He wallbangs Chopper through the door to 28, and then wallbangs Magic's in the apartments down to 43. So that's a lot of damage without even seeing an opponent yet. Team Spirit test the waters at B, and they're at least left in a 4-on-4, but Shiro will take that trade, because look at the HP that's left on Team Spirit. 2 of these players were naded up over towards the Banana side. The other 2 tagged in the apartments, and Shiro has just caught players crossing. You don't want to find yourself in this guy's crosshair. Chopper crosses back, and that's not information that Shiro has, so there is still the potential that you go B at this point in time.
Yeah, this is a weird one as well, but they're actually just rerouting on A. Gambit is scared of long. They have no need to be, and now they know. Now they've dropped 1. The bomb follows, and Chopper trades, but it's all too late. Bomb is so far away, and Inters just swings from the pit. That bonus round for Gambit. SMGs, and look at the upgrades. They find 2 AKs alongside their AWP. And what a start, man. Shiro coming in with the perfect rotate to not just get the info that, you know, for a second looked like he could have cost Gambit with Chopper backing up in a good timing, but Shiro sees 2 players. He kills one of them, he stays alive. And that's, you know, more than enough considering he would have just been left on B doing nothing. With Bomb found in the apartments like that, yeah, Chopper, he needs all the kills. He can't even think about the plant. And already Gambit off to a strong start. Spirit may have had things to show the other day on this map, but home map or not, Gambit are feeling the game right now. It's down Banana, and Spirit don't have the utility to contest this, right? They have to surrender, they have to give it away, but they can flash through the smoke, which is a bit common. No flash, just running on through, and Nafany will give them some respect, conceding the position as a late flashbang comes in. So Spirit have something, but Gambit, they want to make this costly. They want to fight for every bit of real estate, and they will. Hobbit here. holding the corner, only good for one. Nafferty very wide as well. He's in for a penny, in for a pound. If he dies here, the B site could be lost, so he gets aggressive and he takes one, stalling for a second. The flash, oh, it's a team flash, it whites him, but he still escapes through their own smoke. Shiro here to provide some cover, and Spirit may have picked up a gun, but they haven't taken any more kills than one.
Yeah, he's still tucked away in the back of the site as Nafany, right? Team Spirit, they don't even have site control yet. The rotations are coming in. These smokes are starting to fade. And with it, that little veil of security that Spirit had is out the window. Nafany will lock in a 4th round for Gambit, as it's another clean one, right? Only losing Hobbit in the fray.
Such a dangerous setup to play both players in one and done spots. Like, you know, you're hoping for just a spray down, but we saw from Hobbit's position, like, he gets one and he just gets traded by the tech. So for both B players to do that, to offer up huge risks in Spirit, could just run in, grab 2 AKs, get a bomb plant. Like, that's a very risky play, but it shows the kind of mental state that Gambit are in right now. They believe in their aim, they believe in the fights they're taking, and Shiro was there early on a rotate too. So just staying as mobile as he was on overpass. Now 4A, out of spawn, thinking Spirit won't go back to B. It's not the right read, but it's not going to cost them yet. Hobbit can play that retake utility towards Banana. This often forces players back out. They don't want to get caught, but Sunday Young goes aggressive with it, and he eats a flashbang. Now he's in the molly. His teammate saved him there by smoking that Molotov. Sunday Young was so blind, he didn't know he was burning. It was a really nice combo for Hobbit, though, to bait someone into that molly. A good team play, and actually, yeah, that's Hobbit's smoke maybe missing. Even so, it doesn't matter. Gambit are still believing in this quad A hold because Spirit have gone quiet at B, and that is not the play. Here they come into the B bomb site.
Oh, Hobbit blinded, still gets away with a kill. And is hungry for even more than that. Now he is just here fighting alone. Shiro has taken up position in CT and throws a supporting flash for Hobbit, who could get caught out in the open, and indeed he will. Inters up through the banana at least, pulls this one back into even odds. Gambit still teetering on the edge as to whether or not this is a round they even want to attempt. Pass through that smoke for Axile, and now it's definitely something you're interested in. That bomb hasn't gone down yet either. This CT smoke has actually given Team Spirit an opportunity to get that bomb planted. And now into a 2-on-2. Still no bomb plant to come in. Chopper, oh, it's a rough spot to try and plant him, but he does get the bomb down. Smoke lands, that's going to keep Magix off the angle. Shiro also rotated all the way through CT up to Banana. All that matter as it comes down to another one of these clutches. It was a 1v2. Surely he can't get away with this one. Chopper has denied him so many of these clutch attempts. But is this where Shiro finally gets his revenge? Indeed it is. And it's a big clutch to find. 5-0. A statement piece from Shiro. As Gambit continue to rack up these CT rounds.
Yeah, Spirit was stalling the plant to go for kills, right? To try and, you know, whittle down the retake there for Gambit. But all that did was give Shiro the time to rotate round. I think initially it was probably like the save call. He's leaving, then Axel pushes the CT smoke, he gets a kill, and then Shiro's thinking, well, I'll just regroup with my teammate, we'll trade a banana, we'll get that smoke in. And Chopper had the info. He knew where Shiro was coming from. He dropped a CT smoke second, so it wasn't a question of where is he, it was a question of can I hit the shot, and Chopper couldn't. Shiro, one thing that we see him do a lot, despite being really, really impeccable with his AWP, is he often swaps it out in the retakes. He'll drop his AWP for a rifle in many, many clutch situations, many, many retakes as well. So, yeah, very capable player, not just a one-man army, not just a one-trick player. He's got it all. His pistols are sublime too. Gambit, though, this is a great game from them. 5-0 CT star. Spirit needs something. They're going to move up middle to find it. 4 players here again. Gambit, no fear, we're going for this stack. You usually have the AWP as the solo B player, but it's just Nafany with the util this time around. Hobbit waiting on the long fade. Even if he dies, Shiro's back in library. Spirit, they only wanted to put some pressure on. They're going to go back to B. Similar to Overpass, all they've really shown us so far in this map is this bomb site. Will it be much better?
Oh, Nafany was playing boosted up on the wall. He sees the flashes, he hears the footsteps, and he calls for a rotation, believing that this was destined to be a B play. That is not the case. Spirit have since doubled back. Gambit start to think this is a little too quiet, and they actually flash Nafany into top banana. So he gets this information very, very far ahead of time that it is not the B play, and these rotations start to come back in. Nafany is even flanking banana. Team Spirit, they're getting pincered from everywhere. These players inside of A just need to stay alive for even a moment. Axel gone right away, and Inter still trying to stay alive. There's Nafany's flank coming in, and it's all gone downhill for Team Spirit. Magics can't navigate the 1v4, and Shiro cancels him out right at the very end. Throughout every single game in this tournament, it feels like Team Spirit, they were bringing the heat, they were feeling confident. You know, these guys have taken scalps like Astralis, like G2, right? They are heroic as well. Yeah. They literally like forced the disbanding of that team. Actually, that was Gambit. But regardless, yeah, they both beat heroic. And it's like, man, you haven't really ran into much of a contest yet if you're Spirit. Well, now in this more even matchup where you're no longer being looked at as the underdogs, when the pressure is really on, Team Spirit, they're starting to crumble, and Gambit, they're looking stronger and stronger as the rounds tick up.
Yeah, one thing that was apparent with the 4 days off, and then something that Hobbit was especially vocal about in interviews, it's like, oh, Gambit, we've been doing our homework, we know what Na'Vi are going to do, we're prepared, and that showed in the gameplay, right? Hobbit touted the incredible analysts and coach and all the support staff of Gambit that helped them get to that position to know what their game plan was. It was a perfect game plan. Well, I wondered, would that be a worry in the inverse for them now? Spirit have had as much time to prep for Gambit being straight to the semi-finals. And Gambit, well, they've only had a day off since their last matchup. But right now, everything is working wonders. Spirit have not got an answer to the questions provided by Gambit. Boosts up. Gambit avoiding getting picked at B in most of these rounds. Hobbit spotted in spawn, can drop his util to stall this B play. Molotov comes in. Spirit are in no hurry.
Yeah, slow on the approach into B. The Team Spirit, they can feel this game getting out of hand, and they know that soon they've got to break through this wall, or else it's going to be built too high.
Oh, yeah.
For them to scramble over. Bit of utility getting lined up here. That's one for the coffins. Dropped into play, but an immediate re-smoke and molly combo from Nafany. Team Spirit, do they go through it? They've still got a little bit of time to work with here. They don't have to rush this smoke yet. But with Shiro now rotating into CT spawn, that's only going to serve to complicate matters. You can see Team Spirit do take that bomb down banana and look to group up at A. There are only 2 players here, but Shiro's doing a good job of being this player in rotation. Magic's trying to draw the attention back into a B bomb site that Gambit win the fights at, and so they don't over-rotate. They keep this stack here towards A. Shiro even blindsiding Mir on that CT push, and Gambit, they find a 7th round, barely even breaking a sweat. Spirit, they try to really get in your head there, right? They take banana, they throw some B nades looking like an execute. They go back to A while faking B with the rifled players, and Gambit still read into the round really well.
Once that bomb got dropped on short, Mir's like objective is, well, I'm going to kill Shiro on the rotate. I know what he's doing. I know where he's playing. Let's find him. And he still gets caught from behind the pillar. So there's just nothing turning out good for Spirit right now. There's nothing working. They can't even find the kills. I mean, look at this scoreboard. The man who was missing in the start of Overpass, Magic's 6 and 7, he's performing. No one else above 2 kills. Scary stuff for Spirit. A scary start on their map pick with these semi-finals coming to a close for them, the entire tournament, in fact, if they can't find a win here and now. But Gambit, I mean, Shiro's not even died yet, and we're 7 rounds in. 9-0. Absolute death stare from Gambit into the eyes of Spirit. And one more buy round at least, right? Where do they go fast? I'd like to see this banana control get taken by Spirit if they have the spawns for it. Shiro's yet to AWP B out of spawn, even though he's always there when the commitments come through. He's always playing A first, waiting for this mid pick. Spirit aren't really giving it to him. They know the tendencies. They do throw in a quick long smoke, though, looking for a faster mid approach, perhaps. But again, just on their default, 3 up B, 2 in middle, in no hurry.
Oh, they hear the molly make physical contact with the CT player.
Oh.
And they deal with Hobbit on the swing. That's a big kill to have found, because now you know there's only one man left inside of B. It's Nafany, who cannot stand the test of time. And Gambit, they might just save right away here. You know, you've lost those 2B players. You don't catch anyone as they rotate into the bomb site. And Gambit, you know, even though they've been winning rounds and relatively cleanly at that, the few close ones that they have had has meant that, you know, the money isn't really established yet. So to keep things in good standing, to not give Team Spirit a direct avenue back into the game, it looks like they will just commit to this save.
Chopper's so methodical. He even had a lineup for that CT smoke that he threw while peeking it, right? Like, not over the roof, just looking into the wall and then running forward with the smoke. It's like how people throw mid nades in Mirage when they're smoked off in window to the top boxes. So methodical. And, you know, everyone else in their pugs, me included, we're going to eyeball that smoke, but that can leave it with gaps. Chopper makes sure there is no chance for Gambit to get back in through CT. But yeah, the save, like you said, was already confirmed. And Spirit find their first. It was about time. A little worried about these low HP Banana players, but they've done the maths and it checks out well. So 5 alive for Spirit, and money is the aim of the game here in a round like that, right? That's why Gambit save. They know they have the cash, but they don't want it to dissipate too soon. Same story for Spirit. They don't go hunting because they need to establish their own economy here, and that they have done for now. 7-1, baby steps.
Shiro still yet to die as well. 9-0, a scary scoreline. He's always keen to try and take these early mid fights as well. A lot of freedom in knowing that that AWP isn't out on the other side. Once again, back in with this fast top mid utility, and Nafany, while he does get checked, all the damage is dealt to Magix. There's his return though. Deals with that pest over in top mid. Team Spirit, I don't know how he's still alive.
Yeah.
They're doing every little trick in the book to try and nade him down.
I think he jumped ult not into that corner, because if they knew he was in that corner, he would be dead. They've got the lineup, so I mean, they just threw the nade to the jump up on apps. Would have killed him if he was anywhere near it. Now he is, but nades have been used. Only one Molotov left on Gambit. That is at least on the right side, in the pit, could throw into the apartments. And even though Gambit are a man down, they've got the read once again, all too familiar with the a man hold on A. Double pit setup as well. 40 seconds, a flash comes in, Axel's blind, he drops the smoke, but Inters has his cover, has his control, and has pit on lockdown. 3 kills on the bomb, loose as well. Inters is on one right now, and Spirit may have been a man up. They can barely get out of the house.
Ooh, Sumdar Young, man, you got 20 seconds. He needs to decide, does he stay or does he go? His double pit hold is quite the threat to deal with, and Axar's going to mop up the remaining players between him and Inters. It's another concise round for Gambit. Man, like Gambit, they mean business right now, you know? And I think for Team Spirit, this is like the worst matchup they could have had. I think one of the things that's helped Team Spirit out a lot is being the underdog in a lot of these games, right? Feeling like you've got a lot to gain and not much to lose if you're Team Spirit. Well, in a matchup like this, you know, Team Spirit, I think for a lot of people, especially when you think about the fashion in which they got to these playoffs, you might have come into it looking at them as the favorites, but nah, man, when the playing field is even, when it's anyone's game to take, that's when the pressure's really on. You're up against someone else from your region, someone that you've had a bit of a back and forth affair with.
Yeah. For Gambit, I don't think this could have been a better matchup, right? Like, you know, they're more than happy facing a team at their level, quote unquote, even though this event's been very different. We've seen a lot out of these two rosters. Like, Gambit, they're fine bringing it to Team Spirit, clearly. And Spirit probably would have preferred Na'Vi in this position, because we know how Na'Vi can be susceptible to those CIS teams. I mean, look at the quarterfinals yesterday. Right now, though, bit aggro for Nafany. Finally taking some moves down middle, and it will cost Gambit quite heavily. Spirit was set towards B, and they rotate out with that kill. Fake for Mia. Although I say fake, the bomb's coming. Will it be joining? It's a very early smoke considering their positions. It's going to telegraph the players. Shiro comes in on rotation, even Axel as well. I love this call for Gambit. They're making a big risk. They know if they lose one man in a solo B hold, they're just going to have to save. So why not throw all your bodies at the problem? If Spirit go A, fine, they can have the round. If they go B, well, you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, you're in for a chance to win with a man down.
Shiro, the man that Team Spirit just cannot beat. He's here early and forced out by the Molotov. They deal with Hobbit, but the spray from Axel so close to getting away with absolute murder. In back through again, and Axel, ooh, with the triple. It's 9 up on the board. Axel makes it look all too easy. Just barrels through that CT smoke for the second time in the round. And he puts Gambit up onto 9. You're dead on, Hugo. He stacks over towards B. They make that decision, right? As you say, if they go B, maybe we're in with a chance. If they go A, we just save. And honestly, that would have been the game plan, right? Like, regardless of what side it ends up on, you probably would have been saving. So you just make the gamble. You stack B, and it pays off.
And if you're Spirit, you're head in your hands at that moment. You're
that
like,
was your round to win.
We just got 3K by the pit player in B. What's happened, guys? What's going on? How do they know? They just lost Nafany pushing down middle. Surely Spirit would go A, but no. Right into the stack, into the fray, and there's nothing that can go wrong for Gambit right now. They can feel it. They can feel that grand final. They know how within reach it is. 7 rounds from it. Waiting in the wings, Liquid and VP still about to play.
It just feels like Spirit need like a break in the momentum, right? Like, Gambit are riding that same high that Spirit got to ride for so long, right? Throughout the play-ins, throughout the group stages, beating Astralis. It felt like, you know, no team could actually get within reaching distance of you and you just weren't getting staggered back all that much. Well, Gambit, you know, they win their map convincingly. Now, on the map pick of Team Spirit up 9-1, they're all smiles. They've got no reason to be doubting themselves. It feels like they're destined to make these grand finals.
Whoa!
And success just breeding more success as Inters does the impossible, stays alive way longer than he should have been able to get away with. And that round is swept aside as well. Gambit, they put a 10 up on the board. They reached double digits. Team Spirit, it looked like they were going to get in on that round. It looked like they had finally broken through. And yet somehow, those players inside of A stay alive for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Everyone is blind in that situation. The CTs, the Ts, no one knows what's going on. Both players are just shooting because they can. And I've got to say, in this series, back on Overpass as well as here and now, we've had a lot of team flashes for Spirit. Maybe it's the comms, right? Like, you got to know where your flashes are going. You got to make that pretty crystal clear as to where you're going to look, especially when you're playing this fast. Rounds like that where you're team flashing your entry player into the bomb site, like, you know, it's not a case of blame whose fault it is, but it is just a fact of the matter. It is the communication ruptured for Spirit, and there's the results. Not
something that's mental as well is, like, you know, Magic's had a slow start to this best of 3. As the young player, you were worried, like, will he get rattled on the back of this? Well, he's top of the board. We need more from the more experienced players on Team Spirit. Shiro trying to get aggressive here. Doesn't want to throw away the flawless KD, so he does back out of there. Molly keeps them out. And yeah, missed smoke from Team Spirit. These little mistakes just showing that there's a lot of pressure riding on the shoulders of Spirit. They can feel this game getting away from them. And that would put an end to their tournament run in Katowice. Desperate times, calling for desperate measures. Out into top mid they go, but to their dismay, everyone is dead in an instant. It's just Dexter left alive. And while he has dealt with the first 2, there's still more where that came from. Inters, low HP at long, could offer up a kill. Shiro, long rotation up through mid. Dexter goes quiet, but only for a moment as Shiro keeps the flawless KD in check. 12-0, while Gambit are up 11-1.
And you just can't take this away from Gambit, right? Like, not only are the individuals popping off, Axel had a great overpass. He's 17-5 right now. And even there in middle, in that crossfire with Inters, they both get a kill. And Axel, he could have hung around. He could have stayed there for another frag. But instead, he just jumps out. He backs out. He knows that the pressure's on Spirit. Gambit is still playing safe CS. They're still playing smart, despite nothing failing, nothing going wrong, and all the fights being won. You can't not love this team right now. And even if you don't, Well, they'll make you respect them. As Spirit are learning the hard way. 11-1 and more pistols. Is a fast play the solution? I don't even know at this point what is.
Well, something that has been very, very telegraphed is that Team Spirit are always taking this B control before they're going A, and so Gambit are just playing stacked in B to begin these rounds, but in this round, Sumdai Young with the Tech 9 makes it look deadly. Are they ready for Hobbit? This third man here. Oh, Sumdai Young with the flick. Will keep this B site belonging to Spirit, and so one man and one man alone has been able to put up a second round for them. But is that realistically enough? Look into the future of this game.
Pretty far-fetched no-scope there for Sumdai Young. Don't know how he hits Hobbit. Pure cerebral gameplay. Was not ready for that third man at all. But a round is a round, as you say, Harry. And I don't know, like if you're Spirit, you just got to keep taking them as they come, right? You're not thinking about the CT side yet. You're just scraping, scrapping for 4 at the half. On a map that you have been dancing on this tournament. It's not a good feeling. But 2 is something. 2 is better than 1, hey? So they doubled down and they've got to do it once more. Still good money for Gambit as they save their weapons. Look at this no-scope. Bang. Yeah, a good fast B play. The difference there is it's not telegraphed. No one's ready, like dropping Molotovs. No one's ready for Gambit to set up pop flashes. It's just one flashbang, and Sumdai Young W modes that CT spawn, just charges in. So, yeah, it's a good eco strat. You can't run that in gun rounds, right? You want to use your utility. You want to play a little more methodical. Chopper's known for his fast plays in the past. Can he really cool more in this T side, especially when Gambit are even peeking down mid for that info? They're again triple B. Nafany turned, though, from the flash, and Sumdai Young eats a nade. There is a response for Hobbit, but Mia catches him dropping a Molotov, but it never leaves his hand, just drops on the ground instead. 4 on 3, Spirit with another man up. Know that there's likely to be a third man in play here, so as long as they can clear him out, they can win the round here and now.
Oh, they just missed the timing. Inter's swinging wide. Does he know about the man tucked in the corner? Oh, there's the swing, and Inters is quick. No trade in sight for Dexter. He's a little late to the party, and while this has happened, Shiro even rotating into CT spawn. That bomb is still down at T-ramp. It's a Team Spirit. They've got options open. Do they want to keep up with this B offensive? Or are they going to go back to A, anticipating the B stack? Chopper is making a bit of a play in through the apartments. He hasn't seen anybody yet. And even he bails out of this position. And Team Spirit start to lean back in towards B. Just Inters here. Gambit. Maybe for the first time yet, about to make one of these wrong reads, right? So often they've stacked the right site at the right time. But this time around, Team Spirit's silence. It's gifted them just a one-man hold in B. Smoke about to go down into CT spawn. Inters playing backside. 15 seconds. Time is running out for Team Spirit, and they still have to clear this man. The push is coming in. The molly forces Inters out into the open. And the bomb plant now coming in. Gambit might be relegated to a save once again.
Yeah, I think Inters had to get a kill there to make that worthwhile. And if he did finish the job to Magix, that was the bomb, right? Like, I'm sure someone else could have picked it up quickly, but he would have certainly bought time for Gambit to give that a go. But with the money how it is, they don't want to be eco on the last round of the half. They'd rather respect the third and go for a 12-3. Nothing wrong with that from Gambit. But yeah, like you said, the first time they've had a wrong read in seemingly forever, and if Inters doesn't get a kill there, it's an unsalvageable round for Gambit, or at least so they might say. Very, very close to being a 2-on-2, though. Nice Molotov for Spirit to actually clear Inters out of position. And honestly, I'm very impressed they win that round, considering how, you know, Mir gets caught by Inters alone. Dexter backed up to watch B, and in that time, Mir swings wide and doesn't get traded. I thought that was the beginning of the end for Spirit, but they regroup, they calm down, let that heartbeat rest, and they take a B play with success. 3.5, and Gambit piecing together whatever economy they can for round number 15.
And this time, no triple B stack either. Gambit maybe feeling like change is in the wind. And so instead, they push the apartments. They haven't really tried too much aggression over here towards A. So the big question is, is whether or not Team Spirit are ready for this. If they don't clear the apartments, this could even free up a third man to rotate round over towards B. Because it's a lot of information for Gambit to have.
Oh boy.
Now rotates, yeah, but Axal is about to get this info. And at this point, right, you see that top mid's clear, you see the apartments are empty. You're already anticipating that this is ending up in B, and you can see Shiro making his way around now. Hobbit getting risky with it, playing up close to the smoke. Re-smoke down, flashes are in, and Hobbit's off the angle. Molotov is going to do serious damage, and they're caught in the fire. The bomb goes in first, and that is a disaster. Nafany lining up even more utility just to punish Team Spirit. Another molly trying to get thrown in. Doesn't get cleared in time. Instead, Inter's boosted up and over, could deny the bomb plant, and there's that kill. A 4-on-3, bomb not down, and Shiro already here, already on location. It's all fallen apart for Spirit. It's all gone wrong. Just Dexter, and there he is, silenced, pincered by Gambit. 12-3 up, looking to make a decisive path into those grand finals. And Team Spirit, they're running out of time.
Gambit, this is reckless, this is revenge, and this is a 12-3 half in a semi-final. What a start on the CT side for Gambit. Spirit may have picked the map, but they're going to go home with nothing unless they pull some incredible comeback in this second half. An ace up the sleeve of Gambit, and maybe a grand final placing for these once youngsters, led by Hobbit and Co. And Nafany with some beautiful calling in this series already. Is it all done? Is it all over? Or can Spirit salvage something?
Pressure is now on more than ever, and at least Mir has something to start Team Spirit off the right way. Nice. Another kill coming through. Dexter's CZ getting more and more as he pushes in through the apartments. Just Nafany left at the end of the round, and he is trapped behind enemy lines. Team Spirit, they get the pistol at least. Maybe that's something that they can look to build upon. Do Gambit want to take a force here, or is it just going to be the eco? Nah, they're forcing up. They've got a lot of room to work with, right? And they know that even a victory in a round like this, where you're buying pistols, you've got armor behind it, if you find success in this round and start those force buy wars, that back and forth early, then you can just close this game out on the back of it alone.
You can just trade rounds to a win, right? There's no reason to not force it. The only other reason would be like, oh, we believe in our gun rounds so much, we can just play reserves, we can give them one. But why give them anything at a 12-3 half? Pistol may not be yours. But they got some upgraded ones to give a go instead. Hobbit and Apps. Re-smoking mid, he can't get supported if he were to make any kind of play here. We've got two players on the short side. Banana getting taken, boost up in CT right now. Gambit are in no hurry. They are holding on to all this utility as they wait for Spirit to use theirs as well. Dex is starting to doubt it and has moved over to B to set up a flashbang. Might even send them aggressive here. They drop off of the boost. It looked like they wanted to move, and maybe he's got a Coffin's flash lineup instead. That seems to be the case. So here they go. And this is big info here coming out for Spirit, but it might be all too little too late. Only two on the A site, and one has already been traded. Sumdai Young has to do it all.
Oh, could get caught with utility out. He at least keeps the short players away, but he's losing players by the second. This force buy now could pan out unless Sumdai Young is able to stay alive. He can't. Dexter has got to do it all. A lot of damage done either which way, but Nafany from the sidelines is in with 13 for Gambit. The force buy finding success and laying Team Spirit to rest. The money is gone. Disaster strikes, and it's a really, really rough time to have that force victory come through if you're a Spirit fan.
And Gambit have full faith, full confidence. They kill two players flanking before the bomb is committed, and you can see that hesitation. They stop and they go, wait, should we go back to B? Like, B's empty right now, maybe max one player. And they just go, nah, screw it, we'll just W in, we'll just kill Sumdai Young. We know there's only one here trapped in the site, let's find him. And Gambit just commit. They don't even have to. They could back up, they could reset, but everything's working. And immediately, Spirit may get on the board, but any momentum, any wind in their sails sucked out. 13-4, and the force buy to break Spirit not just financially, but mentally as well. You can feel this now. You can taste it slipping away, and it's not good. Sour for Spirit as Gambit roll in the money they've made.
It's heartbreaking as well, because we saw the AWP come out for Dexter once in that first half. Well, he might not even get a chance to wield one here in the second half of play, right? Waiting for the opportunity to use it on the CT side, just like Shiro got to constantly. You might never be given that chance. Dexter knows that in a round like this, a big play has to be made, and he looked like he wanted to go down mid there. Decides against it, doesn't want to risk giving away a man advantage early on.
The one gun to putting it to good use, right? Looking for a timing on an ult play, but you can't hang around there forever. You know you can get swung from multiple positions. And he pre-rotates B, Harry, because, hey, it's all Gambit did, all CT side long, and it worked for them, right? Uh-oh, disaster's about to start.
Oh, don't you dare. Quick switch Magics instead. Head taken off. The A site cracked open by Gambit. And Team Spirit left with those 3 B-stacked players, that early rotation from Dexter. Now you're kicking yourself over it. It feels like Gambit is just in your head. They know what you're going to do before you've even done it.
That was like the case against Na'Vi as well yesterday. Think about the amount of rounds that, you know, Gambit were like double set inner on train on CT side with the AWP, watching upper. Like it felt pretty one-dimensional, right? Na'Vi did go be a hell of a lot of rounds in that game, but Gambit were always stacked there with 2, if not 3 players. And on the B side of train, like that's a crazy call to make. But they just knew what they were up against. They were ready, prepared, and today is no different. Hobbit giving it over an MP9 if someone wants that. And takes a Galil. Spirit wait for exits. Maybe they push in after the bomb and try and kill these pit players, but I mean, you're too far at this point. You have no nade. To use the Doja nade against Gambit in a situation like this would be insult to injury, but it's not to be done. 14-4. And this semi-final might be coming to a quick close if Gambit have their way.
And I mean, like, what a path that would be for Gambit through these playoffs, right? Let's not forget their journey, along with in fact, all the teams that are left in the playoffs began in those play-ins, right? And then for Gambit to reach the playoffs and just 2-0 their way through the competition without even breaking a sweat. Man, that would be one hell of a statement piece. CIS had to effectively turn on each other to make this happen. Gambit are looking to emerge the victors. Flash is traded at Banana. They've got a man trapped and they're quick to try and capitalize, but in the smoke they meet face to face, and Inters has opened up a B play. The danger of this round swept aside by that smoke push from Inters, who's got 3 in the round, all 3 that have been found for Gambit. And they just grind to a halt again. Team Spirit, where are we going to go? That's the question they're posing right now.
It's like Spirit can do no right. They rotate because they lose 3 B players. Gambit go A, like, oh, you think you have them. You think you know what's going on. And at least Spirit now do, right? They've pushed through. They've cleared this position. There's a gun for Magics, but it's all too late. Gambit, if Gambit go B, I'm going to cry. Surely they just wrap this A side. Like, this would be the most insulting way to close a 15th. So no, yeah, they stick around. They wrap A and they've cleared it mostly out. They still don't know it's fully empty. They're being flanked as well. Spirit actually have a really good timing for this play, but it's, you know, you can't lean against Gambit with a man up in a position like this. Hobbit's about to see everything, flicking back, and there's the kill. The spray continued, and Hobbit can clean it up with 2. No fear for Gambit, even with Spirit playing it to the best of their ability. It's still not enough. Grand final point for Gambit Esports, and Team Spirit sweating.
So this could be it. This could be the one investment you get on this CT side as Team Spirit rifles out.
And it sucks.
Limited in terms of the utility, not a diffuse kit in sight. Not the buy you want to begin what would have to be an 11-round streak to make this comeback happen. Gambit, credit to them, never even given Team Spirit the room to move. So at least Chopper has started this round off in a good way. Spirit still clearly feeling the pressure in spite of going a man up early on. They early rotate a 4th man around to A, attempting to outmaneuver Gambit, but that is a dangerous game to play, as we have seen time and time again.
Yeah, how long do you hold this before you start doubting yourself, right? Not long, apparently. Spirit are already sending Amir back to the B bomb site. Chopper has a smoke. Can throw that in right here, right now. Third rotate as well for Spirit. They're really giving it everything, but it's contact for Gambit. They go right through. Chopper drops the smoke. They don't care, but maybe they should have. No CT smoke down, and a two-man hold to spray Gambit out of the round. I say that. Mir, no traces with the silencer, but Axel still hears the shots, and he fires back through. Now Gambit go quiet. 40 seconds. Can they get Spirit to rotate out? Will they just commit? Axel has walked in with his back to the spawn, and he has a mega flank that might just shut down this semi-final.
Oh, this could be the deciding play right now. Oh, the turnaround from Sumdai Young. While all this is happening, by the way, the bomb is back in the apartments on the back of Hobbit. Shiro alone in pressuring B, trying to draw rotations, but Spirit have not fallen for it. They haven't. Oh. Now they're falling for it. Hobbit does spot one man back inside of the site, but isn't able to get past Dexter. So, just about 5th round locked in, right? A ballsy decision to make, leaving that bomb to rotate away. 5 to 15, you still need 10 in a row. It is a long, long journey to make this comeback happen. And you've barely even left the door yet.
This turnaround was incredible. Sumdai Young, what tells him that, maybe his mate comms like, that's just timing of communication. Oh, they could be CT, by the way. Oh, I may as well look. And he's right there. Big flank for Axel never comes into play. And it's a cheeky call for Hobbit to go towards A there. If he gets Dexter, he has a plan and a viable situation to try and clutch out. But it's fine. It's 15 to 5. Gambit aren't worried. Spirit no, at the drop of a hat. One entry gone wrong with no trade, well, that could be their tournament lifeline gone. And that pressure alone, that does a lot to your head. It makes you play scared.
Yeah, I mean, no one for Team Spirit wants to be that first man to go down, right? That first domino in the defense to fall over. Their backs against the wall and rotating at the slightest sign of danger. They preemptively move Dexter away from this A bomb site, and that just leaves 2 players sat down in the pit.
Look at Long.
This could be a decision that really comes back to haunt Team Spirit. We're looking at Magix and Sumdai Young alone out on this A bomb site, out on an island. These rotations a long way away. You at least need to trade evenly here. And Magix, spotting these players getting out through Long, now calls for these rotations back. He nails the first shot and the follow-up as well. And this double pit hold is showing its value now more than ever as they just play off of one another. Axel coming in late, 15 seconds, time becoming a problem. And it's Shiro left up in the clutch. He tries to run for the hills. He tries to get away. But with this bottom mid flank in, Shiro is a dead man. 6 on the board for Spirit. The money now broken for Gambit. The big question, though, in the back of your mind is this too little too late, or have Spirit got something going here?
They've at least got breathing room right now. A low buy for Gambit. Maybe they would have forced around the AWP with Axel on 4K, but this is definitely the eco. And so, yeah, Spirit, they can build up some rounds. They can and start getting their groove on. But like you say, up against 15, it all just feels all too good to be true. Very close round there for Gambit. They hit some beautiful timings out on Long, catching Dexter on a rotate, but they can't kill Magix in the pit. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. He's back to apps. He was here earlier until he saw that Long was lost and he dropped on in. This is a good position to deal with these pistols as long as he doesn't give them the gun, right? Staying on the edge of the balcony. Axel's going to flash these players into the pit. Magix might get blinded here, although he's looking very much into the wall. Will this work out for him? All he needs to do is hold mouse 1.
Oh, now that he's swung a little wider, this flash could prove devastating. Instead, he dodges it, but he's only good for 1. Sumdai Young and Mir should have this one laid to rest, and indeed they do. So there it is. The pistols don't break the defense of Team Spirit. Still having to play catch up, and they're going to have to for the remainder of this half if they want to get us to OT. To get there, it is a real grind ahead of them, right? Eventually, this loss bonus is going to max out for Gambit, and at that point, you're going to feel like you're running into buy rounds almost every single round.
especially if they're getting bomb plants. But, you know, at a certain point, you get bomb plants on Inferno, you're more likely to close the round than not. Oh, that's a run boost. Sam Young flying off the head of his teammate, doesn't take the spawn. Doesn't want to get baited into what could be death, especially if they have their game plan at the gate, right? They don't need to rush this one. The orb could be holding. Chopper, with lots of utility, is able to take some control. We rarely see players nowadays commit to logs, commit to corners here, and stay here all round. They often go, clear it out, leave, and then play safe back towards B, because it's such a you know, obvious play to stay in the corners and get mollied out or get cleared. And if your teammate's mollied off at car while you're trapped at logs, there's nothing they can do to help you out. So Spirit play things safe, right? They're just cycling smokes down on B. They're keeping Gambit out. But that's why Gambit are in no hurry. They're not going to execute anything until they at least have pushed Spirit back out of Banana, denied some of that info, and therefore avoided a stack.
Oh, they try to go through this smoke, but Chopper is keeping a watchful eye on it. The double up coming through. Hobbit, in the meantime, makes his presence known in the boiler, and he has dealt with Dexter. Forces the rotation from Mir around to this A bomb site, but they're keeping it under control right now. Shiro and Hobbit still here, still looking to put up a fight. And Sundai Young's got to spread his attention between the apartments and short. Magix is now smoked off as well. And Shiro follows up with the shot. This could be the round that puts an end to Spirit's run. Mir's gone through the smoke. Shiro gets cornered. And now it's all left onto Hobbit up in the apartments. A 1v2, the bomb ticking away, and Team Spirit, they don't know where he is. They cannot seem to find Hobbit, who's just tucked himself in to the Hobbit hole. The bomb not really planted for him. He's got to swing wide on the balcony, but with Chopper going on this flank, he is given a temporary 1v1. This flank needs to come in, and oh, Hobbit dropping down. There will be enough time with all the kits dropped. It's very, very close, and it's not as comfortable as Team Spirit would have liked, but it's still an 8th round up on the board.
Oh, yeah, Mir realizes once he sees Hobbit on the balcony, he wants to get in the corner and just stick the defuse. He'd be safe, or fairly safe. But that flank almost lets it down, almost comes too late. Luckily enough, the round for Chopper, right? Big opening kills back at B and the closer to boot. Shiro, this check in pit was dirt as well. Just goes through the short smoke, finds that player that's never fired a bullet. Poor Magic doesn't get to play into the round, but it's still a round for Spirit. They're still surviving in this series somehow, some way. 4 in a row. Back to B, Gambit with nothing to lose and everything to gain. May as well run them down with the pistols.
The trades are good. The utility's even better, though, right? You stop Gambit flooding through that choke point with the mollies. And now you smoke off their next available option over here in top mid. Team Spirit, credit to them, right, for remaining this resilient, for not being broken mentally up against this scoreline and still following, like, every precaution you can. Gambit are out in top middle now, and Team Spirit having to keep this defense divided. Magix was not able to get anything done from the pit in that last round. Now we need him to. He spots the short players. He calls for these rotations. Temporarily, the attention off of apartments, but he flicks back up onto it. And so it is just Inters left alive. They swing him at the end. And Magix is going to put up a triple. 9 to 15.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Oh, no. This is, yeah. Go on.
You win
Caster's curse.
You win your next gun round. True. Watch the Blues now. You win your next gun round, and suddenly things get really exciting, right? Double digits, low money for Gambit. You mentioned earlier, they're just running off a loss bonus right now, and that is true. But 3,400 capped out with no bomb plant is nothing to you know, marvel over.
That Gambit check has gone right into your bank account, hasn't it, Hugo? To try and throw all the curses you can at Spirit.
I'm saying this, I'm not cursing anything, but Spirit are in a good position right now. Given the situation, you just wish that they never were up against 15. Imagine if at the 12-3 half, they actually converted that pistol. Imagine if they ran away and suddenly this was, you know, 9 to 12. Well, you're no longer worried if you're Spirit. You still are here and now. You know this can drop in an instant. But baby steps are turning into large leaps, and double digits is just around the corner. Are you believing now?
You certainly wouldn't be wrong for at least starting to have a bit of belief. They're triple B hold early. Magic's jiggle peeking the apartments. He does not want to give this kill over, because if he does, Gambit, they could spill into the A bomb site. So he's lucky to stay alive there. Getting that info that Hobbit was in the apartments triggers a rotation away from B, and now Gambit have their eyes set on this banana control. Chopper flashed off the angle. You need him to deliver here. So the utility keeps Team Spirit at bay for the time being.
Very methodical for Gambit though, right? Like clearing out everything they can. Not seen that lineup, but I imagine it's a top car smoke. Yep. Hobbit missed his earlier, but that one is far better. Gambit, they've got to concede for the time being. Triple B for Spirit, putting the AWP here as well. That has, in essence, been Spirit's undoing in rounds, right? Over-rotating, whereas Gambit had the perfect reads. Flash in, and they regain his control.
If you hear that flash, you know that that means that re-aggression has come in towards the top of Banana, and Mia makes the presence known. Chopper holding that angle alongside Mia is good for one, but the trade is through for Shiro. And Gambit, do they look to accelerate this? Do they look to pick up the pace now? Hobbit has left those apartments, so the B play is coming in. Mia, back of the site, needs to just buy time, needs to just stay alive, and he does even more than that, in with a lot of damage and a kill as well, dropping the bomb out in the open. Gambit, this round, looking to slip away from them. Shiro holding on to Banana, but is very quickly the last man alive. And he's getting surrounded. He's pincered in and just wants to stay alive with the AWP. Instead, it's a death after time for Shiro.
Okay.
Throwing the money of Gambit into disarray, and Team Spirit picking up steam.
All right, okay, all right. Yeah, sure, 10 rounds, that'll do. And no money on the AWP. Oof. This actually could have been a buy for Gambit. It might still be just due to the fact that he's screwed no matter what. But that's not a round that you want to be losing in a way like that, and losing the AWP as well. Unfortunate scenes for Gambit, but Spirit, 10 rounds. And the eco's in for Gambit as well. Shiro just trying to get back in the game. He knows this round is done for him already, right? He can't even buy anything. And he's a bit miffed that he loses his AWP in such a fashion. He could have at least had it in an eco like this. Good round for Spirit though. The re-aggro at B, and what's worth noting is Gambit lose 2 players at the half wall coming up. They had no flashbangs in that round. They had nothing left to clear the corners. So even as Spirit retake top Banana, we see the effect that that has. Gambit can't do anything about it. Oh, great deke for Hobbit. That's a gun gifted. Can Dexter get it out of there? Does he even want to risk swapping weapons and getting caught? No. Sticks around with the smoke instead. And drops into the pit with the AWP. He's at least on the A site for a change. Mir on and off angle, catches one. Second won't clear him, and Mir calls for support. It comes in the form of some Young. 1 by 1, Gambit are falling. 15-4, now 15-11, unless Hobbit has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, man, even for the tricksy Hobbitses, though, it's not going to be enough, right? You can't find anything in that situation. Sumdai Young really did start to come alive. Towards the end of that first half, he was sat on 3 kills. Then he starts to find his footing on the back of that Tech 9 B rush, if you remember. And since then, he's been lights out. So it feels like, we're finally getting the Spirit that we wanted to see. And they've also knocked Gambit's confidence a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
If you remember how this game started, Gambit was just uncontested. Everyone was all smiles. There was no frustration. Well, now you're starting to get worried. Team Spirit trying to do the impossible. Lots of utility used at Banana. This definitely gives away this triple stack for Spirit. So I wonder if Gambit try to use this to their advantage, try and get something accomplished over here at the A-bomb site. 3 Molotovs were throwing down the Banana. So you know that this triple hold was there.
Ugh, get out of there. Spirit will take it instead. The AWP on the boost as well. I've been waiting for this. Dexter's not really had a lot to do in this CT side. Like, he's often been getting avoided, or is in the triple B play, and his team are able to do it as he flashes them in. But this time he's on the half wall, and even if Chopper stays or goes, Dexter can lock down B. B is not the worry though. Gambit are walking up short right now, and Spirit have no idea. Sumdayon with a spot, Magic's with a swing, and now it's up to the short players who can't win a fight either. Magic's with 3, and Sumdayon is drawing them in as Magic knocks them down with the ace. Spirit onto 12, and there is no stopping them right now. They are feeling it more than ever. And Gambit, they can't even get up short. They can't even get this control. Oh dear.
Gambit are finally learning what it feels like to run into a wall that you just cannot seem to get past. Magic's coming into this map was the only guy stepping up. If you remember, he was like 10 and 10 while the rest of the team were 3 and 10, right? No one was even close to him. It must feel great now to look down the line, knowing that you're still giving this your all and the rest of your team are as well. 12 to 15, you feel it in the air, you can feel it coming, and maybe there's a chance after all. Gambit, no money in these bank accounts, not enough that you might be, I mean, you could buy, right? Everyone but Shiro could buy, but it's one of these weird scenarios where if what we've seen from Gambit in the past is anything to go by, they like to have everything, right? They like to have the AWP on Shiro, all the utility. We've seen those lack of flashes betray Gambit before, and so they just take a partial investment here.
That was their last time out too, Gambit. No more sit-downs with the coach, no more breathing room. Spirit are in your face. Fast smoke on the long side. Nafany drops the porch molly as well, but they aren't committing through this smoke surely, especially not with a Molotov in their choke point as well. Gambit just going back to abs pops. You're walking into Magic's, and man, he's had the recovery of a lifetime. Quite the arc, 23 and 19. An ace in the previous round from this position. Why stop now? 4 on A, Chopper, tasked with that B hold, and he's been damn good at it as well. Young can swing when Near makes contact, and there he does. Young off for support, but he sees nothing, and now it's the abs pop. Now it's the drop into the pit. Magic's ding, but he doesn't care. It does not make a difference, the health, as he picks them up. Dexter killing the cross, and while he will eventually fall, it's all under control for Team Spirit. Shiro's gone 2, and 13 to 15. The impossible is happening.
And so this is it for Gambit. You know, you've put all your faith in this buy round, and at least thanks to having so much residual money, regardless of what happens here, you will be looking for a buy up against 14 as well. You've got 2 more attempts to get this game over the line. As you said earlier, from 15 to 4, now 15-13. Gambit, they've been referred to as the Reaper, right? The Grim Reaper. They've just been axing teams left and right throughout this event. You weren't expecting Spirit to roll over and die so easily. They're not looking to do so. The Reapers come knocking, and Spirit's there to greet them with a smile at the door. Slow control over towards the apartments while the rest of Gambit sit back at ramp, this time not looking to get churned up by this banana utility.
This is a good smoke for Hobbit, though. It's a lurk smoke. He's going to keep Magic's attention, especially if things are looking to end B as they are right now for Gambit. They've got a clear chopper, but as long as Magic's is drawn away and not able to rotate, ooh, it's not a good smoke. That falls a little bit deeper. Usually you can't get this kind of angle. That's a one-way for Magic's, if anything. So he can confirm that this is not a commitment. They're still trying to get up B.
This is a ballsy position for Chopper, right? You mentioned how no one really hangs close on these corners. That's the reason why. Chopper is now cancelled out of the round, and so Spirit, they go a man down. This is the best chance, the best lead that Gambit have had in a long, long while. So the pressure now really mounting for the rest of Team Spirit. Dexter, if there ever was a time to show up the way that he has in so many of these Spirit series, it would be at a time like this. Hobbit blindsiding Magic's. Now the options even open to go back, but instead they bolster the B hold, they double down on the cool, and they deal with everybody. Young throwing into a 1v4 to try and keep that dream burning. And right now, Gambit are nowhere to be found. No peaks offered up. Re-smoke down in CT. They're looking to keep it neat and take it over the line. Team Spirit, they tried so hard, but in the end, Shiro is there to carry Gambit along to the grand finals. My, oh my, they get it done in 2, flawless through the playoffs, and now into the final. It's Gambit, CIS royalty, looking to get there.